Hey guys, what's going on? Rick with Rick's Toy Room. In take number 25, I've been having all kinds of issues trying to get this video done. So I decided that I want to go ahead and I'm going to redo it again. And let's just have at it, shall we? So, now that we got that fixed. As you can tell, NBA Jam is running. There's an NBA Jam marquee. Screen's going. There's the graphics. She's done. It's fully restored. He's on fire because it's done. This video took forever to be able to get to do. And primarily it was because of some issues with an idiot seller on eBay, the United States Postal Service, and just general time. So, bought the cabinet early December. And, you know, when I first got it, I had no intentions on doing a full-on restore. I really didn't. Originally it was like I was going to see if I can get it working. If I could get it working, cool. It was going to be a Showtime NBA Showtime NFL Blitz combo. I was going to see if I could get it fixed. If I get it fixed, done and done. And we ran into problems with that. So turn around and got the bright idea that I was going to drop NBA Jam in it, and that led to another set of problems, which inevitably ended up being a full-on restore. So, let's talk about it. Bought the cabinet from a Facebook Marketplace seller. The guy has a barcade down in Trinity, which is like 25, 30 minutes away from here. Originally, this thing was on Facebook Marketplace for like $1,200, and at the time of its original listing, it was working. Why he decided to get rid of it, I don't know. I think the original post said that it was having some like reboot issues, but it was working. And I was like, dude, that'd be really cool. I knew a buddy of mine that really wanted the cabinet. I was like, it's not far away. I could grab it, I could mess with it, and maybe flip it to him. And then I was like, I'm not dropping $1,200 on an arcade machine. Like, I'm not that, I've never thought that they were really worth that kind of money, right? Like, when I first moved to Florida, I bought multiple arcade machines. Obviously, I'm good at doing that. This is now number 2 and 3 inside the house. The Street Fighter's in the game room. My office was not supposed to be an arcade, by the way. But when I first moved to Florida, I was buying machines for $250, $300. You know, my most expensive machine that I bought when I was really getting into like having my own personal arcade was about $600 a machine. So looking at these cabinets sell for $1,200, $1,300, $1,800, not happening. Like, I'm not interested. So I passed on it, right? So I saw it on Facebook Marketplace for like $1,200. Don't really want it. Pass on it. And when I first bought it, it was actually an NBA hang time. So the original graphics had NBA hang time on the side because that was the original cabinet. It had a Showtime Blitz combo marquee. It had the Showtime Blitz combo control panel overlay. The control panel box was Blitz combo. And I thought it looked janky. I was like, if you're going to spend that kind of time to convert the cabinet, replace the graphics. Like, you've got half them done, just finish it. And granted, the side panel graphics are expensive. And by expensive, I mean, for a $500 machine, $300 for side panel graphics is ridiculous. So I looked at the auction, I looked at the listing, and I saved it, but I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to drop $1,200. Fast forward about probably a month, and I get a notification that the listing had dropped to $500. And I'm like, that's a hell of a drop. So I run to the listing, read what's going on, and the guy's like, look, I blew something up. The game's just rebooting. I've got a new power supply in it, but it won't stay boot, won't stay running. Something got screwed up. I want it out of my shop. I need space. I need money. And honestly, within about 10 minutes, I made the decision. I was like, I'll spend $500 on this cabinet. Because the reality of it at that time was it was a 4-player cabinet. The guy said the monitor still worked, the internals worked, but the board had problems. And I'm like, even if I can't get the board to work, or if maybe the board's so screwed up it's just done for, I have a working NBA Jam board right now that I could throw in it, and I could always get a switcher and put, Ninja Turtles or Simpsons. I could do something with this cabinet for $5, especially if that monitor works. These monitors are not cheap, and I hate LCDs in arcade hardware. I just do. Like, if you got a MAME cabinet, okay, cool. But an actual arcade hardware, I want real CRTs. I want that nostalgic feel. And I thought the condition of the cabinet wasn't terrible. So for $500, I'm like, worth it. Contacted the guys, like, look, I'm not going to give you a deposit, but I'm telling you right now, I want this cabinet. I was like, so I'm going to call U-Haul. I'm going to pick it up. I don't get out of work until about 6. I said, I can be at your shop by like 7. Can we do this? Guy's like, I'll save it for you. Yours. Okay, cool. And he's on the up and up. I mean, he's a small business owner. Like, he's not trying to burn people. So I'm like, guaranteed this thing's coming. So I rent the truck, call Dusty. I'm like, yo, I need to make sure you're home by 7 o'clock tonight because we got to go pick up an arcade machine. He's like, what the fuck? So fast forward, we go get the cabinet, and it's in a little bit worse shape than we thought. So the back wheel on the caster was completely destroyed. It actually had the pin that goes through the center, like, smashed out, bent out of the frame. The wood was all screwed up. The front of the cabinet was really chewed up. Sides were pretty banged up. And I was like, still $500. The monitor still works. I can make something with this machine, even in screwed up condition. And again, I'm a nostalgia guy. I like the idea of knowing that these machines came from a working arcade, that they provided entertainment. They had life in the 90s that just you can't replace these days. So I'm like, I will make this work. So we drag it to the house, get it home, mess with it. And it was really late at night, and I didn't have a whole lot of time, so we sidetracked it. Next morning, started playing with it. And immediately, I just couldn't get it to do jack. Tested everything from the compact flash card to the hard drive. Couldn't get anything working. So I threw one of my other boards in it. I was like, look, I have a working NBA Jam set. Let's just see what happens. Threw NBA Jam in it. Works. I was like, okay, we know for a fact the cabinet's functional. What I figured out, or realized afterwards, the control sticks on Showtime Blitz were 49-way control sticks. Now, these control sticks are expensive, and they don't work and are not compatible with JAMA standard 8-way games like NBA Jam. So the sticks didn't work. Buttons worked. I could shoot, pass, and steal. I just couldn't move the guy around. So I was like, that's not going to work. So I got it in my head. I was like, look, for a minimum, I'm going to replace the sticks. So I spent a day tearing apart the control panel, getting the 49 ways out, which, by the way, were a nightmare because the 49 ways have to come out basically in one piece, and the idiots put this little cover underneath the metal plate that's on the control panel. So to get the sticks out, I had to disassemble the control panel, peel off the logos, peel off the metal control plate, hopefully I don't bend it, I was like, I'm not doing that. So I did some jimmy rigging, aka I just took a hammer to it and I knocked all the controls out. Now at this point, I'm in for about $560 because it's what it costs. It was about $580 for the U-Haul, the machine, and because the power supply was bad, I actually drove to Bradenton where one of the arcade suppliers is at, and I was like, "Look, if you got this original power supply, I'm taking it." I was like, "Yeah, I got it, $65, done." So I buy the power supply, get the new power supply in, works great. NBA Jam's booting, needed sticks, so I'm in for $5. It was at this point about $620. Ordered the sticks on Amazon, had some credits from all the stuff that I sell and all this yada yada yada. I ended up getting the sticks for $8. So $628, and I've got an NBA Jam. Well, at that point, I was like, I've already replaced the sticks, I've replaced the board. It's hodgepodge as hell. Because like I said, you got hang time on the sides, you've got showtime on the front, you got Blitz on the top, and you got NBA Jam inside. And I was like, let's do a restore. Like, I somehow, for whatever reason, of course, your phones and everything listen to you. I was getting arcade cabinet videos popping up on Facebook and YouTube, and started watching a couple. And I watched this guy do a restore like in a day, and I'm like, it's not that hard. So I started getting online, and I was like, first things first, the header's got to go. Like, the marquee is one of like 3 pieces that really make a cabinet. So I get online, I find a guy selling the marquee, and I mean, it wasn't a bad price. Like, I was looking at all the prices, and I saw they ranged everywhere from $12 with $10 shipping to, $40 free shipping, and I kind of settled in the middle. I found a guy that had one for $19 plus like $6 shipping, and I'm like, okay. So I ordered it, and that was our first mistake and problem. So get the marquee ordered. Now that I got the marquee ordered, I'm twitching, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to replace the marquee, let's replace the CPO. Like, that's easy. It's one sticker. Find a guy that's got the CPO. I order it. Okay. Now I'm like, all right, well, that was another $30. So now I'm in $620. We're in for another 20 there. $640. I'm in for another 30 here. $670. I'm like, okay. In the meantime, I'm like, I'm stopping. Then I was like, well, I'm already in for $670, and there's a guy selling the control box logos for like $32. And I'm like, okay, let's buy the box too. I can fix, essentially the front of the machine could be fixed and be NBA Jam. So now I'm in for $710 at the moment. And I'm like, okay, what about, might as well go all the way. What's the side panels? Well, the side panels were like $370. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not dropping $370 right now. I just can't. So I'm at like what did I say? What did I just say? 720? About 720, and I'm feeling comfortable, right? Well, so I placed this order, and within about an hour of placing this order, the guy that makes these messaged me. He goes, hey, do you need anything else? And I'm like, well, I need the side panels, but I'm not dropping $370 on side panels right now. He's like, okay. He's like, here's my phone number. Text him. He's like, we do this out of eBay. He's like, I'll do the side panels for $320, and I'll throw in the control panel overlay. And I'm like, well, if I can get the control overlay, which is $30 taken off the total, your $320 is now down to $290. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm already in $700. What's another $2, right? And I'm like, plus I know I can make some money back. And I'll explain that in a second. So I'm like, done. Get a hold of this guy. I'm like, look, can you cancel this? I just bought it, but listen, I had a guy offer me a better deal. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. Canceled. So now I've got side panel, CPO, box for essentially $320, and then the graphic for another $20. So now it was $340 for graphics. We go back to the original price of $620. So now I'm in for $940. Okay, and I thought that's where we're gonna stop. So spend all that money, and I'm like, well, I need to recoup some of this. Now the 49-way sticks were about $60 a piece resale value. Even used. So I'm like, I could break these up, sell all 4 of them. The problem was I couldn't test them. Like, I had no way of fully testing the 49 ways. So I'm like, that's no good. And then I looked on the inside. I'm like, all this crap on the inside's got to come out. Because the Roomba, the JAMA boards, the hard drive, the compact flash card, the audio board, like, all these parts are, I don't really know how much is screwed up, minus we knew one inline resistor was blown, removed it, I could get it to half work. I was like, I can sell all of this untested or broken on eBay. Maybe I'll get a couple hundred back. It'll cover the logos. Well, I priced it fairly high. Like I priced it, I think like $380, and that was the audio board, the primary JAMA, the secondary JAMA, 469 ways, all the wire harness, like everything, all of it. And I priced it at like, I want to say like $450. And I was like, somebody's going to need some of these parts. Some of these parts are going to function. The sticks, like I said, were worth $2. So at $450 for a broken hardware and working sticks, somebody's going to be able to do something. Sure enough, it was on eBay for probably 3 hours. And I had an offer for, I think it was like 400 even. Sold. Took the 400. The guy paid like $120 shipping because I had it mounted to the steel brackets. I'm like, this thing's 20 some odd pounds. I was like, if you want all the hardware, you're gonna pay for it. If you don't, let me know and I'll strip it. The guy's like, just ship it to me, 120. So by the time I bought a box, I got my eBay fees paid for, and because I used pirate ship, not eBay shipping, I actually saved like $80 in shipping. So what cost me like $27 in shipping, this guy paid like $115. So by the time all the fees were done, my profit on that sale was $365. Well, if I take the $920 minus $360, I'm back down into $560 for this cabinet. That is ideal price for me. So I'm like, we made out. So I thought. So, get that done. At this point, I'm really excited. Like, I've got tracking numbers for things. I'm like, all right, control panel overlay is going to be here on this day, and the side panel. So I've got it all lined up, and I'm like, okay, got the cabinet. So I tell Dusty, I was like, let's do this. Let's rip this thing apart. So we drag it out into the living room, and I'm like, first things first, we got to get rid of all this. So rip out all the controls, strip it all the way back down, get all the 49, had the 49 ways out, pulled all the graphics off, stripped it bare. Got the Amazon parts in, assembled them, but knew I couldn't do a whole lot because I needed graphics, so it just kind of sat on the kitchen table for a while. In the meantime, we dragged the whole cabinet, something's in my pocket, we dragged the entire cabinet back into the living room / kitchen, right? Dusty's like, what the hell are we going to do with this? I was like, well, first off, we got to get the graphics off. So he goes to the storage unit, he goes get some hardware, he brings a heat gun, he grabs a couple extra scrapers. In the meantime, I've researched, I need Bondo, I need primer. I'm going to repaint the front panel of this because it was pretty bad off. I was like, we got to go to the hardware store. So we rushed to Ace. I spent like $120 in hardware. And this is like bolts because there are bolts missing. Butts, bolts, nuts, paint kits, 2 quarts of primer, quart of black paint, couple small tubes of Bondo, like stuff to mix it, like all the things, and for another 120. So I go from 540 to 660. I'm still okay. So 9 o'clock at night, we got this thing laying on its side, and we're stripping hang time graphics, and we're stripping, graphics from Showtime. We're ripping out the header, and so we do that. So we spend all night just stripping it. And I'm like, well, we got one side done, flip it, let's do the next. Flip it over, do the other side. So this takes us roughly, I think we end up putting in 9 hours on the first night, just stripping stickers. Second night, now that it's all stripped. So first night we stripped it and actually started some of the Bondo. So we mixed the Bondo, Bondoed it, and we decided that it was actually going to be best to Bondo it, let the Bondo cure, flip it, Bondo it, let the Bondo cure, drag it outside, sand it outside because you shouldn't be breathing in Bondo dust. Drag it outside, sand it outside, bring it back in the house, prime it, flip it, graphic it. Okay? That was the plan. So, first night, like I said, about 9 hours, strip it, first half of Bondo. Takes 24 hours to secure. Flip it, next night, Bondo it, let it cure. By this time, I'm starting to get parts in, by the way. So control sticks are there. Like one of the control panel overlays in. The overlay didn't come in yet because it was part of this kit. So still waiting on that. But like I said, we had paint and shit to do. So 9 hours first day Bondo, flip it, Bondo, wait a day. And that only took like 30 minutes. So we just did Bondo and just left it. So this thing in the entire time is laying on its side in my kitchen. Dining room, like I gotta open it, whatever. But so it's laying next to the kitchen table in the dining room. Roomba's driving around it. Dogs are trying to freak out. I got electronic components exposed. Like it's crazy. So by day 2, so Bondoed it day 1, stripped it, Bondoed it 9 hours, flipped it, Bondoed it, waited 30 minutes. let it sit one night, so 9.5 hours. Next morning, get home from work. I'm like, this thing's going outside. So Dusty Dory brought his sander and all this stuff. So grab the sander, run outside. And because the back had a busted wheel, it was very difficult to really work on this thing. So what we did was we took it outside, flipped it over, sanded it, got it as smooth as we possibly could. We could have spent way more time on it, but it was getting cold. It was getting dark. Like, we started at 5 o'clock at night, and it's getting dark at 6 here. So it was like, let's make it good enough. So we got it sanded down good enough, brought it back in the house. A couple spots, I was like, we're just going to need rebondo. Rebonded a couple spots, let that cure again. Hand sanded that real quick. And then was like, let's go. Primed it. Got it primed. Had to try to sand some of those spots down. Find a couple spots that were still screwed up. Bondoed that again. And by this time, I was able to let it cure while we really started doing work on it. So had this front side sanded, bondoed, cured, sanded. So painted that. So just hand painted that real quick. Dropped it on its side. Primed one whole side. Takes about 2 hours to dry. As soon as it was dry, flipped it. Primed the other side. As soon as that dried. By this time, we've gone over the course of almost 5 days. So, and I don't count those hours in because we weren't doing work for all of those times. It was just waiting for curing. So let it sit, cure, whatever. By the time we finished priming the second side and getting it dried, the graphics were here. So I was like, we're going for it. The hardest part about this was I've never done vinyl work before. And I probably should have did a lot more research. It's not perfect. It's not even, it's good. It's good. Okay, it's good enough. We had some dog hair. We had some other debris. Like, I tried to clean it, try to sand it, but apparently I didn't do a great job. So if you ran your hand against it, you'll feel all the bumps and bruises and all that nonsense. But it looks pretty. So we did the first side, and at that point we're like, well, we're excited. Let's do the next one. So we flip it, do the next side. What I didn't realize is this guy used some of the most cheapest vinyl you could find on the planet. It's not even 3M. It's having massive adhesion problems. So I spend pretty much the entire night just restretching the vinyl, reflattening it, heating it, doing all these things. Finally get one side to here. We get the box done, and I realized during the box work, this left panel, you can actually see it in the video, the lines don't line up. And the reason for it is because what I did was I lined it up to the bottom of the cabinet and then cut the excess. Whereas when I did these, I let it overlay on the cabinet, folded it under, and you can even see that some of this vinyl is still not sticking. And that way it actually had like where the control panel could hold part of it down. It gave it a cleaner look folding it. And I was like, damn, I should have done that here. But by the time I realized I did it here and the other side, I realized that this line was off. So a little janky, but I'm okay with it. Because again, if this was in a real arcade, a real operator, it would have some jankiness. And again, that's part of the love of these cabinets, right? So I'm okay with it. I'm content with my work. So we get this done. In the midst of doing this, I realized we don't have T-molding. And the T-molding that was on it was completely beat to hell. And I was like, well, the original T-molding was black, so it kind of aligns with the lines on the basketball. I was like, I could do an orange because it's NBA Jam. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what would really make this thing pop? I was like, chrome. I think chrome, for some reason, I just felt the chrome worked super well with the basketball design for the side panel. I thought it worked really beautiful on the CPO. I was like, I want to do chrome T-molding. Okay, well, get online. And luckily, it's fairly cheap. I mean, you buy it by the foot, and it's like 23 cents a foot. I tried to measure it, and I got close to what I thought the measurements were, and then I went a little overboard. I was like, let's just take it to 40 feet. So I was at 7, what did I say? I was at like 6, no, I was down to 540. We did 120 in parts, so 660. And the T-molding, honestly, only cost me like $30. So even with shipping. So at that point, I'm in for $690 on this cabinet. Again, it's within my price, in my head, what I'm willing to spend on an arcade cabinet, especially for as old as they are. the fact that they are going to break down. It was within my price range. So I was like, I'm okay with, $690. I'm good. $700 for a whole cabinet were great. Now, mind you, at this point, the graphics are done, control panel's done, buttons are rewired. Me and Dusty spent a couple hours doing this. All said and done for the graphics, the control panel, the wiring, the side panels, the sanding, the painting. I'm in for like 28 hours. Now, granted, it's 28 hours over almost 7 days at this point, but it's only 28 hours. Basically a day. If I could add if I had one of those really cool dollies that like you could lift up and then it had a leg that supported, I could have done it all in one damn shot and been done in one day. But all this done, I still have the Showtime header on here because why? This hasn't arrived. So let's talk about that for a second. All of this started on December 18th. So December 18th, I pulled the trigger, made the command decision. I'm restoring this because this cabinet itself was originally a NBA Hang Time. NBA Hang Time is the last official NBA Jam Crew game that was made by Midway. It used the exact same cabinet as NBA Jam Tournament Edition and the exact same cabinet of NBA Jam. So the cabinet is, for all intent and purposes, it's original. It's the original NBA Jam cabinet. So now that I've got the graphics on it, it's the original graphics. So I was like, I'm doing a full restore. So that was on December 18th. So when I placed the order for the header, the control panel overlay, the stickers, the control sticks, all of it. Mind you, everything shipped. Now you got to take in, Christmas, whatever. Everybody basically said, look, we're going to ship as fast as we can because of the holidays. I'm like, cool. January 3rd, everything's here. So Amazon had the sticks here in 2 days. Buttons and wiring I had on hand. No worries there. The control panel, all the graphics, the overlay, the side panels, the box panels, they all get here January 3rd. The chrome T-molding I ordered on the 3rd, so that took a few days to get here. So January 3rd, this thing's done except for the header. I'm like, where the fuck is my header? Reach out to the guy on eBay, and the guy on eBay is like, well, I only ship on Fridays, and yours is going out next Friday. I'm sorry, what? So, January 4th, we buy this on December 18th. By December 22nd, I have the tracking number for everything except the header. So I'm like, hey, dude, it's almost Christmas. Can you do me a solid? Get this thing in the mail. The post office is already going to be delayed. I only ship on Fridays, and yours is going out next Friday. Okay. It's the holidays. I've got shit going on anyhow. I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot. It's fine. January 3rd, we have all this done. Okay? January 3rd, all the parts get here. We do the restore. We're up to like January 10th. Message this guy, and I'm like, where the fuck is my header? Like, I ordered this December 18th. Well, I told you, and it's on my frequently asked page, that, I only ship on Fridays, and I told you when it was shipping. I'm like, first off, you told me it was going to ship, like, before Christmas. You didn't ship the shit till January 4th. I was like, second off, the post office has no idea where it's at. Now, again, by time January 3rd, the graphics get here, we do the work through the 10th. I get a notification from the post office, the marquee is going to be here January 8th. And I'm like, okay. At the same token, I had the tracking number from the other company that I was getting the T-molding on the 12th. January 8th shows up, the T-molding's here, no marquee. Ask the post office what's going on. They've got no clue. Put in a lost package, they can't find it. So now I'm really pissed off. I'm out $20 for the marquee. It is the last piece I need to complete my machine. Like, to complete this project, do this video, I need this marquee. I leave the guy negative feedback. I'm like, this guy basically sat on the damn shipment for 2 extra weeks that it shouldn't have shipped. It's lost. I can't find it. I want my money back. This guy blasts me left, right, and sideways on eBay. I'm not paying you back. Blah, blah, blah. You should have contacted me first. I'm like, I'll let eBay refund my money. Package is lost. I'll order a new one. So the next day, I let everything calm down because, like I said, I'm being, like, me and this guy are just going back and forth. Next day, I I wake up and I get a notification they found it and it's on its way. Okay, cool. So I get it on January. So that was supposed to be here on the 8th. That was supposed to be here on the 12th. Got this on the 8th. Didn't get that. Fight with this guy on the 10th. The 14th, it finally arrives. Okay? So yesterday. Dusty hits me up at work. He's like, hey, the marquee's here. I'm like, great. If you want, throw it in. Complete the project. I'm okay with it. And by this time, Dusty's been getting really excited. He's been working with the wiring, and he's helped me with this, and there's another conversation. But, he's excited. He opens up, and he's like, bro, this is fucked. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And originally he sent me a photo, and you can see, this line in the graphic. And it kind of looked like it was folded. So I'm like, well, that's okay. We've got some imperfections around the cabinet. The marquee, once it's lit, you're not really looking at it. You'll see it from a distance. When you're on top of it, you might look up, you might look down, but the marquee is the first attraction, but it is not the primary. I'm not worried about it. Plus, the chrome just really pops and just takes away from it. I'm not worried about it until I get home. So I get home yesterday, and Dusty's like, okay. I walk in here. He's already got it. He's got it in. Looks, from a distance, it looks beautiful. I mean, even from here, you can kind of see it looks great. It finally is NBA Jam. The project's complete. So I walk up on it, and I take a look, and what I realize is that it's not that it was folded. This idiot had either tried to Photoshop his own graphic together, and he sucks ass at it, or his printer jammed, and instead of reprinting it, he just let the jam go and printed it with the jam, because that line that you see in the graphic is a shift in the graphic. So it's like NBA Jam. And that upsets me. That looks more janky than some of the other problems I have here. And that's going to aggravate the hell out of me. So at this point now, I'm super, super mad. And I turn around. I'm going to turn off Roomba because I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not, but I just want it to shut up. I'm really mad. So I get on eBay, and I'm like, I was originally going to close the dispute. So I was like, graphic showed up. Okay, it's got a bend in it. Fine, whatever. And then I see it, and I'm like, oh, hell no. So I escalate the dispute. I was like, look, I want you guys to step in. I want you to refund my money. This damn graphics bin, it was a reprint. It wasn't original. It was printed misaligned. It looks like shit. It looks like a knockoff. I want my money back. So I'm waiting for eBay to respond. So that's the story of the marquee and why this video is taking so long. All that last 32 minutes to tell you about what we built, how much it cost me, really comes down to the fact that this video has been waiting for that marquee since December 18th. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. All said and done, if I choose not to replace the marquee, this machine cost me $720. Now, if I would have had to buy an NBA Jam board, add another $500 to that bill, because you can't buy JAMA boards right now that function for less than $5, and that's for decent games. That Killer Instinct is going to cost $1,800 to put a real KI board in. And since I'm already at 32 minutes, I'm going to we will do another video about KI, because that's another story for another day. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, or at least you get an idea on somebody that's never done this before, how long it really takes. Like I said, between curing times, painting, drying paint, waiting for parts, about 7 days to do a full restore. In reality, if you had the proper hardware, you had all the parts already, you could rip one of these things down and have them done in 28 hours or less. Now, granted, that 28 hours does basically take into an account that you are not going to perfectly sand this, wet sand it, make it super, super sleek. You're going to make sure that all the logos are perfectly square. 28 hours is a good enough restore. Okay, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for my home machine. And like I said, I've owned or maybe I didn't say it in this iteration of the video, I have owned NBA Jam at least 4 times that I can count. When I first moved to Florida, actually before I moved to Florida, back in the day, long time ago, when I was still married in Michigan, I bought an NBA Jam board set to put in my Street Fighter machine so I could play NBA Jam. And I would just play it 2-player. That set actually had a bad audio board. And I got that set back in the day. I think it was like $100. Like, that was expensive because I was buying Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat 2 for $25 to $40 working. So $100 for NBA Jam was like excessive back in the day. But I had that board set sitting in Michigan. When I moved and I got divorced and moved down here 10 years ago, apparently I actually left that board set in Michigan. Had no clue I didn't have it. At one point, I'd been buying arcade machines, working on them, and I was looking for it, but I was like, oh, I must have, God only knows what I did with it. It happened to be I was back in Michigan in April of 2025, and I was over talking to the ex-wife and just going through some stuff, and I found it in the basement. And I was like, this board set works. I'm taking it back. So I grabbed it, gave it to Dusty. He threw it in his pod, shipped it down for me so I didn't have to pay the shipping cost or explain to the TSA what the hell it was in my carry-on. So I had the working board set. In the meantime, I'd already also bought another NBA Jam board set when I was in Riverview because I had a 4-player Konami cab, used to be a Simpsons, and it was a Simpsons, but the guy threw NBA Jam in it. And I bought it from an operator that had machines and laundromats, and $700, bought the cabinet. It wasn't really NBA Jam, and I wasn't into restores. So I was like, it's good, right? So I had it then. Then I sold it to the lady that bought all my arcades and opened her shop in Oviedo, where the hell it's at. And then I had another one. So before picking that set up in April, I'd actually saw a working board set for like $350 on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, I love NBA Jam. I miss NBA Jam. I'm going to buy it, put it in Street Fighter, I'll flip them out. Give me something to play with. So I bought one on eBay, and then in April, I found out that my ex-wife still had my original. So brought the original back. Because the soundboard was screwed up, it didn't play audio correctly. I sold that as basically a broken sound set. And I ended up selling that set because it still powered on, still worked. Audio worked. It was just the misaligned the audio. I sold that set for $350. So basically what I sold the Michigan broken set for, I paid for the new set. It was a wash. So I've got a working NBA Jam for $720. Restored, all graphics, original hardware, original JAMA board, original soundboard, original ROM set, reprint marquee, reprint graphics, but original cabinet and the original CRT. So yeah, guys, I mean, that was the restore project for NBA Jam. I will do another video about Killer Instinct, where we're at with it, because this has been another nightmare and a half.